welcome to Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. This is video 2 called Spring's Alive. And spring is certainly alive here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. You can see by all of the green and you can definitely hear the birds chirping. Please join me as we explore some environmental STEM curriculum ideas here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. Blaine Wetland Sanctuary is a place for recreation. It's also a place for relaxation and for research. One of the things that we're learning about the Blaine Wetland Sanctuary is how these rare plants out in the fen are actually some of the earliest bloomers for pollinators. And it's those pollinators that help with our food supply. Did you know that this used to be farmed, or at least attempted to be farmed for food crops? And also they attempted to have sod farms here? Well, now what we now call Blaine Wetland Sanctuary is a protected area. It's used for so many different things by our community. On planet Earth, we have a 365 1/4 day year. And we can divide that year into 4 seasons. Well, pretend with me that my hat here is the sun, and that's at the center of our solar system. And then we have Earth that rotates day and night, day and night, day and night as it revolves around the sun. So how do we get seasons? Well, it's because Earth's axis is tilted. If we pretend that this position here is winter in Minnesota, Earth's axis is tilted away. If it's summer in Minnesota, then Earth's axis is tilted towards the sun. Now it's those seasons of fall and spring where it's tilted off to the side. Not towards, not away, but off to the side. Well, here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary, it's springtime, and we're seeing that with the green, we're seeing that with the pollinators coming out, the birds building their nests. You can enjoy Blaine Wetland Sanctuary anytime. When you do notice those differences and changes in the seasons, it's called phenology. Be sure to bring your science journal or your camera to take some pictures so you can witness and experience how the seasons are changing out here at the Wetland Sanctuary. As the snow melts each spring, I'm reminded that we live on a watery planet. Water's all around the globe, and water here at the Wetland Sanctuary shows up in a number of places. Sure, it's in the snow and in those plants and in the beautiful sky and any precipitation that comes, but water is also in the wetland area called the fen. The fen works as a giant sponge to hold that water because a fen is made of peat. Peat is organic material from sphagnum moss, and it just holds that water, which is great to reduce our floods. So the fen in the Wetland Sanctuary acts like a giant sponge. It also acts like a container for water because it takes that water in and holds it underground, which is called an aquifer. In addition to being a sponge and a container for water, all of these plants that you see and the trees behind us as well, those act to filter and clean the water. Add in layers of soil, sediment, sand, and peat, and we've got an amazing filter. Are you wondering more about where Earth's water is located? Well, there's an activity, a part of our environmental STEM curriculum called Where is Earth's Water?, where you can use a graduated cylinder, some water, and some measurement tools to figure out and see for yourself the ratios of water on planet Earth. Well, out here is the fen. A fen is a specialized wetland. It's not a pond, it's not a marsh, and it's not a bog either. A fen is a specialized wetland because it has plants that have been accumulating over hundreds of years. Also known as a biodiversity hotspot, a fen is mostly peat moss. And that peat moss gets a little bit acidic, which affects which plants live there. So very rare plants are out in the fen. Our fen, because it is mostly this peat moss stuff, not potting soil, not organic sandy or loamy soil like we saw on the islands of Blaine Wetland Sanctuary, or maybe you find in your yard. But this fen's peat moss helps the fen act like a water filter. It holds water, so it's like a sponge, and as that water trickles down, it's like a container or a water bottle. So the fen's really special and helpful. Sometimes nature does a better job than our technology solutions. Well, let's test that idea. Here's an engineering design challenge for you, your students, or your family. What you're asked to do here is use the materials at hand to build a filter. And then we'll take some polluted water and test your filter. So your task is to build a filter for some polluted water. And then you can compare and share how your filter works compared to a natural filter like our wetlands here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. Well, the process that we use in engineering starts with a problem. We define our human need or want. And our human need or want here is for you to design an effective filter. You have some criteria and constraints. You can give yourself a time limit or limit yourself to the supplies here. And then do some research, like learning more about wetlands, learning more about water filters that you can purchase. Part of engineering is iterations, and the iteration means to design, build, test, improve, design, build, test, improve. A great engineer will do this hundreds of times. See if you can do 7 iterations, and then share your best work with a friend, a family member, a teacher. Give it a try. In case you missed it, there's a 5-part series with Blaine Wetland Sanctuary's education initiative. All 5 parts focus on environmental STEM. That's environment, science, technology, engineering, and math. And part of that is systems thinking. Thinking about how the land, air, water, and living things all interconnect. Well, here in the spring, the birds are going crazy as the leaves come out and the snow melts. The insects hatch and the pollinators are visiting those rare plants and their blooms. So spring here at the Wetland Sanctuary is a great place to try our bird nest building engineering design challenge, or just come and observe the birds. There are these guides that are available as part of the Springs Alive kit with Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. So please come and check it out. Try the engineering design challenge, try some bird watching, or maybe just make your own observations about spring and how land, air, water, and living things are all connected here. Welcome to the photo poll. How it works is you line up your phone or camera with the arrows, take a picture, and then you can use social media to post those pictures, even using some of our Blaine Wetland Sanctuary hashtags. This is a way for us to slow down to notice nature. It's also for us a way for us as community to be citizen scientists. We're collecting data because all of those pictures together will give us a big, larger picture of what seasonal changes and changes over the years look like here at the Fen and the Wetland Sanctuary. Hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere, and geosphere, we are in those ecological systems as our community is a system as well. Whether you come to Blaine Wetland Sanctuary for recreation, for research, for relaxation, please be sure to take time to notice nature for your health. As a hobby, to spark creativity. Maybe that's using a photo poll, writing some poetry, doing some artwork. This is also a great place for learning. So whether it's with students in schools, with your families or friends, be sure to check out those interpretive signs as you walk and explore. Bike, run, rest, relax, enjoy.